Hey everyone, it's Jason here, and this is part of Viz For Social Good. This is me actually showing some of the visualizations just in case we don't get together on the 19th of March. So let's have a quick look as far as the data that I've sort of gone through. So the question that I'm looking at here is really looking at the campsites, the patients, and effectiveness of the conversation. So one of the things I did find was around the shifts was the patients turned away piece of data. So I'm looking at that, and what I found was that there was a large percentage of patients turned away in specifically Brisbane. So I narrowed in on that, and really most of them were in November, and same again, around 20 of them around that nighttime period. So worth investigating. What I then did find when I narrowed in on the different sites and the different shifts were most of them actually appeared on this particular shift here at the Wesley on the 19th of November, 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. that night. So I dove into that a little bit more, into the data itself, and what I found was nothing ever happened. So we had actually patients turned away, but no recorded data for that camp shift, which was a bit peculiar. So I then looked at one of the other ones, and then for the 26th, which was the week after, where two patients were turned away, where there was a bit of data in terms of the different types of services that we talked about, mental health, nursing paramedics, referrals, service provider conversations, and then substance abuse was two conversations around that. Conversations are good in terms of numbers, but we don't actually have any information about the duration, who, and also the outcomes. So this is where I think some of the tandem information that helps with the timing aspects, as far as who, as far as how much time, and also just getting a better understanding and depth around the types of conversations. So as an example, on a different day where we saw the personal history, relationship, and housing were very important in terms of the, at least from a duration perspective, but then the impact is a different measure that we would need to add on top of that. And then if we take a different slant around the tandem data, we can then see, okay, how much time are we actually spending on these? Who are we, who is supporting, who are the volunteers that are also having these conversations, so we can then start doing some capacity and some forward planning around that. So there's a few things that we can then see in terms of what we could do, whether it be the people, whether it be collection of data, whether it be further analysis around that specific day. Is it the day on that coming back to that camp shift where we had 8 patients turned away? Was there actually anything wrong with that day? What is the impact of that? Could they have been, let's say, were there others that they could have had those same conversations with? So plenty of things that we could have done in that sense. So hopefully we can get together on the 19th and share this data even more. So we'll see you soon.